the political face-off and the legal battle over the lighting of the Deepam or festival lamp at the holy Thiruparankundram Hillock near Madurai. The auspicious day of the Karthigai Deepam has passed, but the politics and the legal battle is burning intense, Vasudha. The Madras High Court today adjourned hearing the state government's appeal against a single judge order allowing the lighting of the lamp at the Deepathoon or pillar right next to a dargah on the hilltop, in addition to an alternate spot where it has been lit traditionally over the last many decades. The Madurai Collector, who's facing contempt of court proceedings, Vasudha, for not abiding by the single judge order of the High Court, has now moved the apex court challenging the contempt proceedings, and multiple political statements, including one from Chief Minister Stalin, has been made.
That's right, Veera. In fact, it's a deadly cocktail of identity, politics, more importantly, court orders, religion. And this is a sensitive issue because Tamil Nadu goes to polls next year. Just 6 months to go for Tamil Nadu polls. And this has become the latest flashpoint between the DMK and the BJP. What is the Tamil Nadu government saying in this? Well, the government says that in 2014, a 2-judge bench actually ordered the lighting of the lamp at an alternate site, not the contentious site that we're talking about, which is next to a dargah, and which is why it is not really obliged to follow the orders of the single judge court. So now really what happens is something that is everybody's guess. But yes, with the elections coming up, it looks like this is going to be the latest flashpoint between the DMK, that is accusing the BJP of trying to foment communal tensions, and the BJP accusing the DMK of trying to appease the minority votes.
That's right, Vasudha. Remember, all eyes now on the Supreme Court on how it deals with that contempt of court challenge petition filed by the Madurai Collector. It's a sensitive and communal issue, Vasudha, as you rightly pointed out, and politics over it could get intense in the coming days. Let's listen into the reactions both from Tiruchi Siva and BJP's L. Murugan that Vasudha got from Parliament earlier in the day.
What happened in Tamil Nadu last 3-4 days? This is for the act where what is happening there. The full responsibility is for the DMK government and DMK police. They have to take full responsibility for this. How the desperate DMK failed DMK government, they didn't allowed if the CS of people also and the petitioner also. Where is the court? Why they are not following the court order?
See, we are very clear, either the DMK party or our allies or the Tamil Nadu government is not against the conventions of any religion. One person with vested interest has approached the court of law with a writ petition that they want to light the Deepam in Sikandar Malay. The name itself shows that Sikandar means it's a Muslim place. And it cannot be heard through a writ petition because it depends on rights. It can be settled only through a civil petition and civil court. Writ petition cannot have any jurisdiction in that.
Well, 2 strong points, multiple legal arguments at play. Joining us now is DMK's Parliamentary Party Chief Vasudha Kanimozhi Karunanidhi. She joins us now. Ma'am, thanks very much for joining Vasudha and me here on the Southern View. Given that a court, no less than the High Court, has ordered the lighting of the lamp at the Deepathoon, and this is the single bench order that I'm referring to on the hilltop, was it not duty of the state government to abide by that order? Why was the High Court order defied, inviting contempt? Was it for minority appeasement, as the BJP is alleging?
See, we have been lighting this lamp traditionally in the Thiruparankundram Murugan temple, which is below the Hillock. And then later in the 19th century, when the Player temple was built on top of the Hillock, it was shifted to that, and during Karthigai Deepam, the lamp or the light is lit over there. Suddenly, people want to go and light a lamp on the survey stone, which is there in front of the Sikandar Dargah. Why would you, the survey stone was laid by the British government. Why would you go and light a lamp over there? That actually goes against the Hindu sentiments. And this is the confusion. So every time the BJP wants to create an issue, through the courts, they try to create this issue. We've seen it in exactly the same happening in Manipur also. And now they're repeating it in Tamil Nadu. This ceremony has been going on peacefully, and the Sikandar Dargah and these temples have coexisted in a harmonious way, and people have worshipped in both the places without any issues for many decades. Now BJP, before elections, it wants to start problems, it wants to start do its usual politics of religion, and it wants to create issues between people on religious lines, and they are trying to say that you must come and light a lamp somewhere else. And one more thing is, you talk about agama laws in temples. So the day the Karthigai Deepam, it is a particular day when you can light the lamp for Karthigai Deepam. That is what is happening in many temples across the state. But you can't do it on another day, the next day, after Karthigai Deepam. How can court intervene in all this and say, and then also say that, they are, the state government is in charge of law and order. We have to make sure that the law and order and is not, obstructed, or there are any issues which are coming up. And we already have a court order saying that only the HRNC has the right to, and the temple authorities have the right to light the lamp. You cannot give it to somebody else to do it.
Ma'am, but isn't there another court order now to allow the lighting of the lamp on the Deepathoon? Isn't the government actions then, couldn't that be considered unconstitutional?
I am saying there is already a court order which says this is the place where the Deepam has to be lit, and it is the duty of the state government to ensure that it happens peacefully. What is the reason for a one judge bench to overthrow the order and create issues?
Okay.
So ma'am, are you saying that whatever the government did was not unconstitutional, but then going against what the Supreme Court wanted, don't you think that will dent DMK's image?
See, unfortunately, or fortunately actually, unlike the BJP, DMK does not look at everything as an election win, or something which you have to create and use only for elections. We also care about people. We care that the majority of the people in the state have to live in peace and harmony. So that is what we want at the moment. I mean, that's our top priority, unlike the BJP, which believes in divisive politics.
Go ahead, Vasudha. Will this not give communal overtones, and in an election year, isn't that a serious concern?
No, it will not. We are very confident about the people of Tamil Nadu. Yesterday we saw how people were relieved then when this was brought under control. Because people in Tamil Nadu do not want, this kind of divisive politics, this kind of hatred, brewing between them. Because in the same Thiruparankundram itself, we've had two temples and a dargah. And people have been peacefully worshipping there and going there. Why do you have to create issues which are non-existent and which has never existed for centuries?
Also, ma'am, our last question to you. The BJP has been consistently claiming that the DMK is anti-Hindu. How are you going to address that? People
of Tamil Nadu know what the BJP is. We have not allowed them to come into Tamil Nadu in a big way. And the Tamil Nadu people will never give in to this.
That is the DMK MP Kanimozhi speaking to NDTV. Thank you so much, ma'am, for your thoughts. The DMK MP clarifying that the DMK government is only interested in protecting law and order in the state, and she has also claimed that the DMK will not allow the BJP to spread a communal agenda in the state. That's a claim by DMK now. But also joining us now is the other side. We have Vanati Srinivasan, BJP legislator from Coimbatore. She is also the president of BJP's Mahila Morcha, or the women's wing. Thank you, Vanati ma'am, for speaking to NDTV. My first question to you: the DMK government is saying that a writ petition cannot decide on matters like this, and that because there is an order by a two-judge bench, it is not really obliged to go by or abide by whatever the single judge bench said. As a lawyer, how do you look at this argument?
See, first of all, when the High Court judgment is being given, it is the responsibility of the government to implement it. The law and order situation, as they are saying, it is not the true one. It is all been is created for the purpose of saying some reason for not implementing the judgment, because the DMK government all along, it is in their DNA, they are anti-Hindu sentiments always. It is not that first time the DMK government is not implementing the court order in respect of the temple. Even on several occasions, we have seen that how they are disrespecting the Hindu sentiment of the people. In this case, it is been clearly evident that even after a High Court judge has passed an order, even in their writ appeal, the division bench has dismissed the writ appeal. Even after that, with an intention of doing the appeasing of the minority community, the DMK has disobeyed the High Court order. Even when the Honorable Judge has directed the CASF personnel to give the protection, they are also being denied entry into the temple premises for lighting the Deepam in the Deepathoon. The pillar itself is being called the Deepathoon. I don't know for what purpose they are thinking of civil adjudication. When the pillar itself is being called as the lighting Deepam pillar, then what more the government is expected that the petitioner or the aggrieved person to prove about the nature of that pillar?
But ma'am, even as you make that point, the lighting of the Deepam has been going on since the 1960s very, very peacefully. The accusation is that the DMK is trying to maintain law and order. The BJP is trying to communalize the incident for electoral gains in an election year.
See, in the Thiruparankundram, that is small hill, that is being called as a Murugan hill. It is not that only the BJP is calling or Hindu Munani is calling or RSS is calling that small hill as a Murugan hill. It is for the centuries that hill is being called as a Murugan hill. So the DMK cannot play saying that only because of the RSS and BJP we are creating some issue. It is not so. For a long time, in the same pillar, the Deepam has been lighted by the people for over the centuries. Yes, in between the 13th century, because of the Sikandar and his defeat and his Samadhi, that all the in-between things have happened. Then even after independence, for some period it is being allowed. Then after that it has been stopped. Then why it is for a long time the demand is there. It is not that only Hindu Munani has given this call or BJP is supporting. It is not so. For so many years, even before we are supporting this cause, the locality people, they were demanding that in the particular pillar, the Karthigai Deepam has to be lighted. So it is that DMK's politics is always in Tamil Nadu, it is an anti-BJP, anti-Modi. So like the same thing that they are giving their color to this issue. But for a long time, the people of that district, and not only that district, whoever is worshipping Lord Muruga, because there are 6 important temples for Lord Muruga in Tamil Nadu. All the people, Muruga's devotees, they used to visit all these temples. This temple demand is also for a long time. It is not that first time our organizations are rising. And apart from that, recently, the STPA, supported by the local, that Ramanathapuram MP, they have claimed that they are going to give a sacrifice of goat, chicken, everything. So because of that, the people, a large number of devotees, they were objected for that. Then during that time, the government did not come out cleanly about that
Okay.
whose temple that is and what the HRNC is right, everything. They did not openly came out, and now after the High Court judgment, they are giving all these stories.
But Vanati ma'am, now that the lighting is over, how are you going to take this matter forward? Because if Tamil Nadu is seen to be a land of believers and temples, it's also seen as a land of Periyar, where Hindutva has not really been able to get that kind of electoral traction. How are you so convinced that this issue will make people understand that DMK is anti-Hindu is what you're saying?
You are asking about the socio-political situation. Once upon a time, yes, when Periyar was giving the chapel slap for the Lord Rama's photograph, and it is been known that it is not only anti-Hindu, it is anti-Brahminical sentiment always they used to run. And the same school of thought that DMK is following their footsteps by following the TK principle by saying Periyar. But now the situation in Tamil Nadu has been totally changed. But now, if anyone is ridiculing, anyone is disrespecting, now the people are starting giving their reaction. They are responding in a proper way by saying that the government, the philosophical or ideological things cannot be settled here. It is completely the temple, the worship, the devotees, the divinity, spiritual, everything is totally different. Now slowly Tamil Nadu is differentiating between what is Periyar and what is Sanatana and what is Hindu sentiment. So the DMK government is thinking of consolidating the minority vote, is taking this, but definitely this will backfire DMK in the coming election.
There will be many who will question that contestation, and perhaps electoral results will perhaps reflect on what the changes are. But that was Vanati Srinivasan of the BJP. Vasudha joining us for a very quick political face-off this evening. Two political analysts who follow Tamil Nadu closely and have strong opposing points of view. Dr. R.K. Radhakrishnan of the Frontline and also Ramaswamy Meyyappan joining us this evening. Thanks to the both of you for joining us. R.K. Radhakrishnan, first to you. If there is a court order, it is the duty of any government to adhere to it. There is a 2014 order and then there is the latest order by a single judge. Some experts say both do not necessarily contradict each other and that the second order allows the lighting at the Deepathoon in addition to the alternate spot. Is the Tamil Nadu government's action one of minority appeasement, one that can be termed unconstitutional? What's your point of view?
The very simple fact of the matter in the Indian Constitution and our jurisprudence, Veera, happens to be that obviously a single judge cannot overturn a division bench order. There have been two orders, one in the 90s and one in 2017, both by division benches, which have held that wherever the process is happening right now, the lighting is happening now right now is fine, and that's the place. And that there have been three surveys conducted by the Geological Survey of India during the Britishers' time in Salem, Madurai, and in Chennai. And the structure on top of the mountain is by the Geological Survey of India, and it is not a Deepathoon. And this has been the process all over the time. In fact, Jayalalitha herself had refused to entertain this plea. And the Hindu has actually reported on this, saying that there is no need to change the spot where the Deepam is being lit. One. Number two, Mr. Swaminathan, the G.R. Swaminathan, the single judge who gave the order, did two things. One, he visited the spot and he decided for himself that the Deepathoon was on the top of the structure 50 meters away from the Dargah. And number two, he took the state government's powers of, police powers into his own hands and dispatches a group of CISF people. How is this even, aren't we, is there a constitution which guides India?
But RK, let me just interrupt you because I wanted to ask you this question. Okay, I agree that, you're making a solid argument here. But before I come to Mr. Meyyappan, see, this is Murugan, okay? People in Tamil Nadu are, we know that it's a land of believers from Tiruchendur to Swami Malai. This is Murugan, this is not Lord Ram, or it's not even Vishwakarma, that you can say that north are gods that are more aligned with the north of India. Isn't the DMK at the danger or threat of losing maybe a significant portion of Saivite worshippers or believers who have been voting for the DMK?
No, the point is, I am also a Muruga believer. My mother was a serious Muruga believer. In fact, Palani was her most favorite spot. Thiruparankundram, Thiruparankundram, all these places are where, of course, Ramaswamy Mayappan and I also visit quite frequently whenever we can. I was there in February when the first incidents actually took place. No, I don't think so. I don't think I listened to Vanati ma'am, whatever she had to say. But the point is that the people of Thiruparankundram at this point of time are extremely upset over the fact that their shop had to be shut down this morning. There was a BJP enforced, hartal in that area, but then people did not. I mean, even the BJP guys themselves have pulled down the shutters only for half an hour and 1 hour. See, this is a peak season. Do not interfere in people's livelihoods. And for the past entire 4-5 days, what has been happening is complete, disregard for the local people, interfering in their livelihoods when they exist side by side, the dargah and there is also a structure beneath, right, facing the temple, where people live like there is nothing happening. So, the Muslims are there, the sacrifices are made, all of that.
Look, there are two different issues here. One is the political electoral dividends an issue can cause. The other is what impact it has on a communal or a social fabric, which is, I think, two different issues that's there. Ramaswamy Mayappan, the accusation is that the BJP is picking up and the Hindu Manani is picking up an issue to communalize a society and a polity which has had communal harmony as its cornerstone. A. Answer that motivated argument that's been made by the political opponents, and B, whether this issue will even have electoral dividends, will reap electoral dividends for the BJP.
Bharat Manakkum, Tamil Makkalukkum Vanakkam. See, the first issue before going to your question is the position that the state government is in today. Do they agree with the order or not is not relevant at all. There is an order of the court. Tomorrow, if a private litigant, either on a land acquisition proceeding or any proceedings against the state before the court, or even in a criminal proceedings, tomorrow, if an order comes from the court and says that I will not obey the order of the court because I have recourse to appeal, therefore the government does not have any position. If someone has issued a sentence and he says, no, you can't arrest me today because I have recourse to appeal, the police cannot touch me, I will wait until my recourse to appeal is over, I will prefer a dummy appeal, an appeal not in proper form, and can they wait? A state missionary, the state executive, have a responsibility independent of the polity. That's the reason there is separation of powers. So my expectation was the state executive would not act it in accordance with the politician's wishes. 1. 2. The expectation that the citizens will have to follow law and order will have to start from those in office. That goes to the politicians. If the politicians have an expectation from its citizens, they will have to start with that. That is where the DMK has failed. Chief Minister Stalin has failed. He failed when his son, the Deputy Chief Minister, made a comment, Sanatana Dharma is equivalent to COVID, coronavirus, and all other infections that he could call for. And no action has been taken against him. But today, if a common man makes a statement, he'll be immediately acted upon and a student be put behind bars. And now coming to your question.
But the government is saying 2014 there is another order, Ramaswamy Mayappan, which is a 2-judge benches order which does not allow for the lighting of the lamp at the Deepathoon.
I think the government is mistaken. Whoever is advising the government is erroneously advised, or the government is intentionally acting wrongly. 1. The 2014 order, the petitioner sought for a relief of lighting of the lamp at the top of the hill. The top of the hill, Dargah is there. The Privy Council order in 1923 is the Dargah's land is the Dargah's land. Anything in 15 meters from the Dargah should be a peaceful territory where no one does any religious activity, and everything else belongs to the temple and Lord Muruga. The entire hill belongs to Lord Muruga and the temple. So that is the position in law. So the 2014 order stated categorically, therefore you can't go to the top of the hill and light the lamp. The Deepathoon, the pillar with the lamp facilities for 3 lamps and 6 oil canisters is not at the top of the hill, it's at the lower mount and away from the lower mount. Therefore, and that's a little over 50 meters away from the
is the DMK government using the concept, using law and order as a cover fire for its own contempt of court?
See, absolutely. I think even if the executive officer or if the temple trustees had passed an order or if they had lit the lamp themselves, there would have been no issue. They gave ammunition to the BJP to bring up an electoral issue. They gave
let RK answer this. RK, is the DMK selectively using law and order as a cover fire for the contempt of court?
Yeah, obviously, see, it makes sense for the DMK to not respect this court order simply because there is a division bench order. I don't understand how a single judge can overturn the the judgment of a division bench. Number 1. Number 2, I don't understand how a single judge or any judge anywhere can take law into his own hands and decides that this is the police which will accompany X, Y, or Z. It should have easily told the people in charge of the police in Tamil Nadu that you have to
But
provide
sir,
for the people who are coming to light the lamp. Having said that, let me just finish the politics in 2 seconds. The point is that here the DMK is seen as the protector of the Tamils, and the BJP is now seen as the protector of the Hindus. These are the two warring factions in Tamil Nadu now. Who gets lost in this bargain is the AIDMK. Now the BJP is gaining prominence, the DMK is gaining prominence because they are in a face-off and the AIDMK is losing out.
No, that's a very important point you're making. Ramaswamy.
But RK, has there been any voice from the...
Sorry, go ahead, Vasudha. Sorry.
No, I just wanted to ask this to RK. Has there any person from the minority community said anything with regard to this site? Because we have seen many instances of ruling party making sites contested to suit their own agenda. And this happens on all sides.
No, the community there, the Muslim community there who, worship in the Dargah, and the people who come from outside, including, people who belong to the Hindu community who worship at the Dargah, because there is a faith that Dargah actually heals, Dargah has all kinds of properties and all of this. This is a faith. This is not based on science at all. And you would know that one of the members of parliament from Tamil Nadu, who happens to be a Hindu, has a Muslim surname. Sadiq Basha, I think, is his first surname. A lot of Hindu families in Tamil Nadu are also deeply linked with the Sufism that is the undercurrent.
There is a very deep social link that you're talking about, RK. Very important to understand that. Ramaswamy Meyyappan, just your closing arguments, you've heard RK make out the whole, both social fabric and political arguments. What's your closing argument? Because we're running short of time.
Very quickly, the DMK here is trying to manufacture an electoral issue where there is anti-incumbency. They don't have any electoral issue to go to. They have seen the minority vote slipping to TVK Vijay or to anyone else who's voicing their opinion. The DMK wants to keep a vote bank of its own. So today, this is their starting measure to try and keep their vote bank.
So why is the BJP helping them do that?
Vijay? Sorry?
Why is the BJP helping them do that?
No, the BJP did not. Very simple. The representation made by the first petitioner was to the executive authority and to the temple board. If they had merely lit the lamp themselves in some place that's called the lamp tower or lamp pillar, there would have been no political issue. So the EO, who is an appointee of the HRNC, who is part of the government, made it a political issue, gave ammunition to the DMK. So it is a manufactured issue by the DMK squarely for this purpose. This entire area is peaceful. In fact, the BJP president yesterday, when the police were there and not allowing, advised all of the people, including the party members, let us not raise any issues. The police are acting under the instruction of someone else. They do not have a choice. Let us be peaceful. If they're going to arrest, let us court the arrest and let us be peaceful. Those statements are recorded and were published in all media outlets yesterday. So that is the act of the BJP. The BJP consistently wants peace, and that is what the BJP represents in the state.
All right. Important point that you're making there. Multiple dimensions to this. Thanks very much, RK Radhakrishnan and Ramaswamy Meyyappan, for joining us. We'll keep a close watch on how this case plays out in the Supreme Court and in the Madras High Court. Vasudha, perhaps the courts will have the final say as far as where the lamp can be lit, and that will happen only next year because the auspicious day has been passed. So it's more of the political and legal debate, not really the belief and the spiritual debate that's playing out. Let's take a very short break. When we come back, much more.